I mean, it really was tragic. We're live, by the way, but yeah, that was tragic. But hey, man, we're CPT. We're back. We're This is pod is brought to you by Slim and Husky. I don't know if you guys ever been to Slim and Husky in Atlanta. It was a black-owned pizza spot. It's really good. I recommend going to the place to get it. I got on Uber Eats. My food was kind of cold. Not to mention they didn't have my cinnamon rolls, so I was a little upset about that. But
Damn.
hey, brought to you by Slim and Husky, meaning that they fed me today. I paid, but they fed me today.
Powered by Slim and Husky, right?
Oh, power. Oh, you know what? You're the right guy for words, man. So we're back. It's been 2 weeks. Nice little hiatus, a nice little recharge. But we got some topics, man. A lot of things have happened since our last episode with Jerome.
Yeah, quite a bit of stuff has been changing. New laws in Georgia,
Woo!
crazy stuff on TV. Um, the weed game too.
Oh,
You heard about that?
yeah, bro. Side note. So you know how March is March Madness. It's leading up to the NBA playoffs and stuff like that. Tell
Mhm.
me, like, I don't know if you've seen like the numbers of New York alone. Like there were $1.5 billion spent in sports betting. Whether or not you win or lose, the handle was 1.5 for 1 month alone, dog.
It's
1 month
crazy.
alone.
1.5 billion in just New York.
I mean, don't get me wrong. March Madness is crazy. I
Mhm.
follow some March Madness teams. I was I was I was rocking with Memphis for a little while, man. But
Okay.
they got put out by Gonzaga. But you know, hey, a lot of people are making money off this March Madness. So, dude, I don't want to go back into the whole sports betting ramble, but I'll let you get back on your top on the topics we're gonna be at hand and discuss.
I was about to say, man, 1.5 billion is a lot, but
That's a
yeah,
lot
so
for
quite a
one
bit. I mean,
month.
our casino did 30 million last month.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh, wait. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I was bragging about you the other day.
that always feels good.
Yeah. I was like, somebody mentioned something in regards to like, it was like online sports betting on like the websites and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, there's moving towards like the NFC and the Web3 spaces. And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, my boy May Hool, he's part owner in this shit too. And he was like, what, for real? Oh, this is how we got on it. So you might know because your dad's a gas station owner. Wait,
Mhm.
your dad owned the gas station and the motel, right?
Yep, sold the motel, trying to sell the gas station.
Okay, so in those gas stations in McRae, did they have those slot
Yep,
machines?
yep.
Okay, so first off, those slots machines are the biggest scam there is out there, man. Because it's all ran on software, which I'm pretty sure you know. Not just being as an engineer, but your dad owns a slot. I mean, has the slot machines in the store, so
Mhm.
they're pretty much a money trap. Basically, you just put your money in there and just pray the slots are going to work for you. But in actuality, come on, man, it's ran on
I
software. This shit's
mean,
not going to work at all.
that's every slot machine, right?
Yeah, but the person, screw it. G Man was telling me that he was like, "Yeah, man. Now here's some. And here's what I learned in life. The older I get, I realize some people will tell you some real shit, but they're gonna sprinkle in a lot of bullshit too. So this is the
Mhm.
part with the bullshit. What G Man was saying, yeah, my homeboy owns the one of these gas stations. He has like the slot machine in his gas station. They make so much money, but there's a legal factor in it.
Yep.
So only certain shops can actually have those slot machines in the stores, those software machines in the stores, right?
So see, we handle everything legally. We don't do illegal shit on our side. But
Yeah,
what some people do is they operate them like legit casinos, cash prizes. You're not supposed to give out cash prizes.
yeah, that's what he was saying. Okay, so he
Yeah.
wasn't bullshitting there.
Yeah. So but like a lot of people, like you could go to like Norcross or somewhere and they'll have like non-gas stations. They just got like middle of strip malls. They just got like little places with the machines in them.
Yeah.
But essentially what you're supposed to do is like, cool, you win $100, I'll give you like a gift card for $100 worth of stuff out of the gas station or like gas coupon or whatever, right?
Hmm.
But some people, they're like, screw it, we'll just give out cash and operate like a real casino. Um, there was a bust probably 4 or 5 years ago. actually, in Eagles Landing.
Wait, how do you know this?
Because I'm in the gas station business, dog. You know, I'd
I
be
didn't know it was like a the gas station owner community or
the
something like that.
community. I mean, you're Indian,
Okay.
right? Indian, right? Like the
Okay.
gas station community.
Yeah, there is a black community too as well. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
There was a bust. It was something like the guy, because like if you're running an illegal casino now, all of a sudden you owe the
Mhm.
IRS. And that's where shit gets fucky, right? IRS
Okay.
ain't never stopping.
Oh no, yeah, I don't want to screw with them. Even
Yeah.
Joker himself said it
So
wouldn't.
this dude got arrested. He ended up owing like 300 million, something like that. It was in the
Whoa, wait,
newspaper.
he owed 300 million.
Yeah, well, he owed well after his fees and everything, right? Because like they put penalties on like all this stuff. So like once
Yeah.
the case was finished, they're like, all right, it's gonna be 300 million for you to like settle up, because that's not how much he owed, but like illegal casino like fines, this fine, like everything like racked up to be like around 300 million.
Sheesh. I mean,
Dude's out.
I assume he filed bankruptcy.
Nah, he's out. He's running.
He
He's,
paid it off.
Yeah. Sold some land, did this, did that, moved some things, borrowed some money.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the real hustle, which I wish me and my dad thought of it, like when these machines kind of got legalized in Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
they allowed people to buy them up. And so what's happening is now there's like 4 or 5, I mean, I don't know how many people, there's like a bunch of big players in the scene, and then they'll lease out the machines to the mom and pop shops, so like the gas stations and stuff like that. So the big owners of the machines, these guys are just collecting pretty much. Like they just pull up on you every week, collect their cut and go.
All right, so wait. Okay, all right. This was not a topic, but I'm really interested now. So these big players, they pretty much run the software, and they just
No, they just own them, the machines. Like
Okay.
literally, like it's kind of like I own the laptop and I'm letting you hold it, but every week you got to pay me money.
Yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
I'm just you let
They
me
own the
keep my
hardware.
70%. I'll give you 30% just for like keeping it here.
Keep it in your store and doing this and doing that. So like I forget the exact percentages, and like obviously the big players, like different ones have different ways on making it work, but it's a very, very lucrative even for the little guy, it's lucrative. So the big players are making hundreds of millions of dollars.
Like, cause think about it. Like the way when I grew up in Lithonia, so it's like at all the gas stations, I will always see people, and there were, let's be real, there were older black people on these slot machines or these little game machines, just using
old
it.
white
Back
dudes.
then,
Like you got rednecks and you got old black dudes, and like they're just.
I mean, let's be honest. Like the target audience is like the lower class citizen, essentially. So that's all I saw. So back then, I thinking as a kid was like, oh man, I can't wait to play those. Those games look cool.
Yep.
And as an engineer, I'm like, this is bullshit, bro. Like, this is actual all software that we're running off of, and then we're just people are actually thinking they can win against the software. When you and I both know we already set the probability rate, which is probably like 5%.
Yeah, like it's. And the thing is, because these like and also like the reason why like legally you're not supposed to give out cash prizes, right? Is it's also a safety issue. If somebody wins 20 grand, and if you're treating it like that means you got 20 grand on you that you're willing to give, right?
You can walk out that gas station with 20 grand.
Yeah. Right? Like, so it's like a safety issue. So like, and obviously like gambling's not really legal in Georgia like that. So
that's true. But which is weird because we still have the lottery, which gets so big.
And that's gambling too, right? So
that's actual gambling. But it's crazy because like I know gas stations, like if you win lottery up to like $500, you can take that out of the store. But I get what you're saying with the whole 20,000.
But like think about it, like how much is the gas station owner keeping on deck?
That is true.
In the safe or whatever. So like it's the gas station owner's safety, and so like that's why it's like, oh, you're supposed to give out vouchers on like, oh, you won 10 grand. So cool, you got like 10 grand worth of stuff in the gas station. AKA you just pull up to the store whenever you want and pick up some stuff, like
hey, I feel you, man. I feel you.
Yeah. So that's how it's supposed to work. And obviously, like with gambling laws, like that shit's mad illegal. So That's why like that guy got like took for like so many millions of dollars.
Man. So okay, so continuing what G Man was saying, and I think
Like
here,
there's this
here's
girl. There's this girl I know. Her husband does it, right? He's I don't know her personally, but like I know somebody who knows somebody. She's like an influencer on Instagram now, right?
Mhm.
And like she had like a video of them building like a $20 million house or something like that
just
in the metro.
off those machines alone.
Yeah, like that's what he does. Like he just has machines, and like they're in Metro Atlanta building like a $20 million house. Like
Yo, so how and Metro Atlanta, bro, $20 million can get you a lot, bro. You can live like a fucking king. Like,
yeah, dude. Like these guys are yeah.
how do you know the big players in this? Because this sounds
Not
very lucrative.
personally. Not
Like,
personally.
like a Google search. Like, would you find these people out? Like, this sounds like a very lucrative
I
business. If someone,
mean,
because like
I
we're
can
software
find one of
engineers.
them. No,
We're
no, no. Like
software engineers, and like I'm pretty sure some people listening to are software engineers.
well, I think though, like I don't think they can actually mess with the code themselves. It's like
Mhm.
the state gives them the code or something because it's the Georgia lottery. These
Oh,
machines are operated by the Georgia lottery. So the Georgia
okay.
lottery takes their cut. The big players, because the machines are all owned up already by the big players. The big players are like, yo, little guy, like, I'll let you put this in your store and I'm gonna take this much percentage.
They're just the middleman in between.
Yeah, and they're just taking their
Okay.
cut for just owning the machine, essentially.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was thinking, like, yo, can you actually just build out this software? But hey, like you said,
Yeah.
it's the whole legal factor with the
Yeah.
state of Georgia, and they don't want to make $1.5 billion a month like the state of New York did. So hey,
Honestly, bro, they're making more, I feel like.
you think so?
Because if this one guy can build a $20 million house, this other guy got caught for $300 million and he paid it off and he's not in jail now. And that's one guy. That's one small mom and pop store guy.
Yeah, but that's
So
1.5.
like
That's
these guys,
1.5, my guy, in
oh
one
yo,
month.
300 billion.
In
That's
one
it only
month.
takes 5 of these guys. That's one guy in the entire state.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So here's the BS part, and I'm glad you clear a lot of stuff out for me.
yeah.
G-Man was saying that apparently the gas stations pay the FBI to operate out of those stores.
I mean,
I don't know if that's valid.
no.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
I could see some stuff because, like, obviously, like cops are coming in and like, for example, hypothetically, Rick, if you ran an illegal machine setup, I mean, the machines are legal. It's the way you use them
Mm-hmm.
that's illegal. Hypothetically, if you're running it in an illegal manner and a cop walked in, cop might be like, "Hey, bro, just give me a rack real quick," and I won't say anything. It
So
might be something.
that's what he was trying to allude to, because he was
Uh-huh.
saying like the feds may come in and shut it down at any given time, and then
Mhm.
I mean that's a perfect segue over to like our weed and tech, situation too as well. How granted, in 16 states as of now, weed is legal, but it's federally legal. So of course, the people if you live underneath the rock, you can't go to the dispensary and pay with a credit card. You gotta pay with a debit card. So
You can't. Yeah.
yeah, so it's crazy to hear like, oh yeah, the feds can come in at any time and shut the whole operation down, which they really can, but the actual industry itself is becoming so lucrative that it's attracting like all these tech firms and stuff like that as of now.
Big investors, yeah.
Yeah, big investors. Like, I mean, when you anywhere on the West Coast or anywhere there was a legalized state, the number one actual like app from Google Play, top 5 always is Weed Maps, no matter
Mhm.
what.
It's the
I mean,
classic.
yeah. And here at Peachtree Desk, we don't condone smoking marijuana, especially in a state that's illegal. So just put that disclaimer out there. But
To those in a legal area, enjoy it. To those not in a legal place, you do you. We do
you do
not
you.
condone anything illegal.
Hey, but at the end of the day, as an engineer, I understand, or even in tech and fuck it. As a worker in this economy, I understand. Sometimes you get a little stressed out. Sometimes you need a little downtime. I mean, teach his own. I mean, some people like weed,
Sometimes,
some people like video games, some people like both. Some people like
some-
books.
I mean, we are in the tech industry, and a lot of the tech industry is in California, so the culture out there was very different.
Yeah, very different.
I remember working in offices where you could get certain supplies delivered to you, and the car would pull up. You wouldn't have to go downstairs; they would drone it up to your window.
For real?
This is back in like 2016, 2015. So
Hold
I
on.
can only
Okay,
imagine how it is now, bro.
bro, hold on. So they you'll be coding on the fifth floor, and the drone will pull up the, well,
Pull up to your window, um, and then the camera would, and like there's like a speaker and like there's like a camera, and so
mhm.
the my colleague, my coworker would show their ID, show their prescription medical card, get it confirmed, then the person would then release the thing.
Wow. So they beat Amazon to that shit. You know,
Yeah.
Amazon was like probably like 2-3 years ago. They were practicing like drone deliveries. Like everybody was big on the drone industry for a quick second.
Yeah. So, I mean, shout out to Amazon. I think what they're trying to do, because I remember seeing a patent about like a flying distribution center or something like that.
Like a helicarrier.
Yeah, like the shield
Man,
carrier or something. I remember seeing like an article on
Bezos
that.
a
I was
fucking
like, bro,
villain, man.
I mean, they're going to Mars, right? So,
Hmm.
but no, I saw that's what this company did. The car would just pull up, and it was like a small business. It was like a mom and pop shop.
Hmm.
It was a small business in Oakland called the it was called the, because Telegraph is like a big street out there. Like, we got Peachtree down here.
Hmm.
It was like the Telegraph Health Center, THC. And so,
That's cool.
yeah. And so they were doing their deliveries and everything. And yeah, the car would pull up, and you'd have to like obviously do everything
Hmm.
online beforehand.
Hey, validate your age, because people under 21. It's funny because it's kind of like I read a fact where the human brain doesn't finish developing until 25,
Yep.
and it's like, I
The
mean,
your it's the prefrontal cortex, I think,
yeah,
and that's the part that tells you like, hey man, if I do this now, if I just wait, it'll be better, like interest instead of
just
like blowing
instead
all
of
your money
saying,
on the weekend,
hey,
like just having
F
self-control.
F it, bro, buy the ball them kicks, boy.
Well, get a table, get another bottle, even though it's like a
Get another
$30
bottle, boy.
bottle
Hey,
for
$30 bottle
1,000.
for $100. Hey,
Another
sad day.
bottle.
Hey, I've been there, man. I've done it. It's
I've
sad.
been there. That's that age right there,
Yeah.
like pre-25. Think about it.
Yeah.
How many old people, I say old, I mean people our age, are really popping bottles like that on the weekly basis.
Oh, on a weekly basis? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do it once a year.
Like a
And
birthday or like
yeah,
some
I
type of
mean,
celebration, but like you
my
ain't.
mine was like family in town for the wedding, so I was just like,
Mhm.
yo, I'm just gonna get a section around the corner from the whatchamacallit.
From
And
the
plus, I
venue,
got
yeah.
I got a bonus, so it was kind of like play money. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Meanwhile, like, in your early 20s, you was going to the club every weekend, every Thursday night. Like,
with nothing, bro. Like,
yeah.
I even in college, like I remember going to a club, and I had $10 in my account, bro, and it was $10 again. It was $15 to get in. I had $10 in my account. I I pulled that $10 out. I don't know why I did this. I mean, I got paid probably that Friday, but bro, I
You would
got there. And it
never
was
do
like,
something like that in your
bro,
life.
I got there. It was like, yeah, it's 15, bro. I was like, oh, and then it's funny because me back in the day, we used to recycle our wristbands, and this is like broke days of being a college student, which was amazing. I miss those days sometimes.
Oh yeah.
It's like having an armband because they never changed the color of the armband. We kept the same armband every week, and we would go to the same club and get in. Now, one night they switched it up from red to pink, and I walked in with the red, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, man, I already got my band." It was like, "Yeah, they gave you the wrong band." I was like, "Oh,"
They gave me the wrong man. That's y'all's fault.
and I said, "Oh, well,
Let me get the real one.
let me go talk to my brother. He's my ride." I walk right inside. I walk right inside.
Bro, I used to just be like, I gotta go pee, and just whatever excuse to get it for free.
But
I mean, the real hustle was just to pull up with a bunch of girls, and then they would just
that
let
is
you in
true.
for free.
That is true. Just say,
But
I'm the driver.
uh,
But back
yeah,
to,
that was a great one too.
yeah, I'm the driver. So to bring up, I brought out Weed Maps for a reason earlier because like they're one of the companies now, West Coast base, and that's out there, and they're doing like remote work. No matter where
Mhm.
you are in the world, they're paying actual like California salaries.
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
that's real cool.
yeah. So I mean, they're looking for all type of engineers. They're looking for QA. They're looking for designers. I mean, because they're constantly growing. I mean, as the states become more legalized, I mean, which we're at 16 right now, it's only going to grow from there. So like you said, they have the capability for deliveries. I don't know about drones.
I mean, I don't think this is Weed Maps. This is like a mom and pop
Okay.
site that my colleague would order from. You would just go to their website. They would have their little drop downs. Like the website was just like straight Web 2.0. Like it looked like a bootstrap, just like a template with just a bunch of drop downs or whatever.
So they had a bootstrap template website with
Yeah.
drone delivery. Okay. All right.
I mean, pretty much I'm pretty sure it was just like a very small business, and then that's what they were doing.
With the drone delivery.
I
Okay.
just remember it blew my mind because this might have been like probably my first month working there, like in the West Coast, like because like I lived out there and I was doing like boot camp and stuff, so it was like cool, whatever. But like working in like the office environment, and then my coworker just orders some product and it just gets delivered like that, and then he's just like, "All right, cool, guys." And then he would just partake right then and there, and I was like, "Bro, what is this?"
Wait. So he did it right there in the office.
Yeah, in the office.
Oh man, hold on. That's we talking flour. Or we
Yeah,
talking like what company was this?
this was a small startup. This was not our startup. We were sharing an office with another startup just
Uh-huh.
because we were trying to save money. And then, shit was crazy.
Bro, that's wild. I've never heard that might be the coolest office story I might have heard all year.
Meanwhile, like, me and my roommates and stuff, like, I remember we'd be like, all right, cool, it's going to take me 45 minutes to get to the office. Might need to power up for the commute, something like that, for the train ride or something. But, like, straight up in the office, that's crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like a legend, man. Like, well, you might have to bring that guy on the show.
Bro.
That guy a fucking legend right there. Whew.
Oh, what's up, Musa?
What up, Musa? Man, but it's crazy because like they're really hiring, and like I did some research on their actual tech stack, and they're using basic shit. They're using just React for their front end. I believe they're using React Native for their apps, and it's just Ruby on Rails in the back end, and that's pretty much it.
Makes sense.
But it's like
And shout out to
app. It's
I was gonna
crazy.
say shout out to Ruby, man. Ruby's been making a real big comeback, I feel like, recently. I've been hearing
yeah.
more and more people using Ruby.
Yeah, I have two. Just really, most of the companies that use them were kind of like they used them before.
Oh, and
They
they
kind
weren't
of
using
just
it
stuck with them,
properly.
and then
Yeah.
the companies are starting to blow up. But
Yeah.
they're like, oh shit, might as well keep the Ruby on Rails thing going.
Yeah.
Kind of like people using .NET still.
New .NET's pretty nice though.
New .NET?
I think they call it .NET Core, and it has like out of the box like support for like Angular and like React and stuff like that, like easy ways to just connect stuff up. And,
.NET?
bro, Microsoft's been killing it, man. I mean, I personally would not buy a Microsoft laptop yet, but like, come on, they own GitHub. They've done TypeScript. I mean, I'm not a TypeScript fan, but you got to admit that's a big thing in the industry. What else do they own? Discord? Didn't they buy Discord? I think.
No, Discord. We did an episode about this.
Yeah, we did. They were trying to buy it.
Discord stood up to him and said, "Screw
Yeah.
y'all money."
Yeah. But I mean, they've been doing a lot of stuff in the open space world, I should say. Yeah, no, .NET's supposed to be good. I mean, I haven't really messed with .NET like that. I'm a JavaScript guy. I like my stuff lightweight.
Yeah, man, we like it lightweight, dog. You know what I'm saying? But to each his own. To each his own.
Yeah.
Some people like them heavy now. Some people.
Yeah,
like
I mean, I've been noticing a lot. I know, like how everyone shits on PHP developers, and I've been noticing, like, bruh, they're getting paid the most now, though, because nobody wants to do it.
I used to be one, and it was terrible.
Yeah. I remember like doing my first loop in PHP, and I was like, bro, this shit don't make no sense to me.
Oh, dude, try using those. I used one of those old frameworks. Like, I don't know if you heard of Code Igniter. It was one that started with a K. I completely forgot about that shit. But yeah. PHP. It was a dark time in my life. But hey, I was a young dev.
Had to start somewhere, right?
That's true.
Yeah. No, it was very interesting though, just to see like how a lot of these companies like Crunchyroll is PHP. Or
Oh,
they
dang.
used to be. I don't know if they still are, but they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because back when I was living in California, they had like their weekly tournaments, kind of like how 404 does.
Mm-hmm.
And so Crunchyroll came to kind of do like a this week's pot bonus is provided by Crunchyroll because they're trying to hire engineers because you're in San Francisco. So it's a pretty good bet that most of the kids playing video games and tournaments are probably tech tech workers or tech adjacent. And I remember I asked them like, "Cool, what's the stack?" And they said PHP, and I was like, "All right, I'm straight." Like,
I'm straight, bro. Or be like, oh, Microsoft, you trying to hire me? I get a MacBook. Oh,
oh, ooh.
I mean, that's my deal breaker, bro. I don't care how much money, but yeah. Oh, yo, speaking of this, I'm glad Musa brought up the fact that if you can't compete with them, buy them. I had an interesting conversation today with my barber at the barbershop. I don't know if you noticed the cut, but
Oh yeah,
yeah.
looking clean.
Oh, appreciate it, boy. I appreciate it. But I was talking to him, and we got on the subject about Nike. So I don't know if everyone noticed that Foot Locker shares plummeted like crazy recently due to the fact that Nike says would no longer like have some of our shoes in their stores, primarily the shoes everybody care about. You know, of course, i.e. Jordans, Air Force Ones. I don't know, basic sneakerhead shit. You know me. You know, I'm an Air Max guy, man. You know, so
Classics. Happy Air Max Day. I don't think we spoke on that.
happy Air Max Day too, man. I got something right there. But yeah, man. So it's crazy because here's my conspiracy. Nike is moving towards like having their own stores, more stores. They're gonna have a Jordan brand store and they're gonna have more Nike stores. And if you notice, they have a new Nike store at Pond City Market now. They have a Nike store over here in Atlantic Station now. Fun fact: if you're looking for some retros, you miss out on them. Go to that Nike store because they do returns, and they'll be at that store. But yeah. So I got my
So
Carmine.
they're trying to own the entire vertical from production
Mm-hmm.
all the way to distribution. Because
So
like,
now exactly. So now you have to, if you're not doing a collaboration, you have to go straight to Nike no matter what. So that's gonna fuck up Foot Locker. That's gonna fuck up Foot Action, Hibbets, Champs, all that. So it's crazy how that's actually happening. Even Dick's Sporting Goods. Fun fact, I didn't know.
Not Dick's, bro.
Yo, they do retro releases at I don't know who this is. They do retro releases at Dick's Sporting Goods, bro. I didn't know this. Like you can walk in the store and get the shoes, but no more. And I think Nike is gonna choke off the market, and they're gonna buy these stores out. So I really won't be shocked because like they're even fucking up StockX. Like it's gonna get to the point you can't even flip shoes on StockX anymore.
I mean, that's why these fashion brands are so big into NFTs.
Yeah.
Right,
So
because
I think
they want that authenticity. Like, yo, you get the shoe, but you can get the NFT to prove this or that. Because they're doing like metaverse Nike stores and Adidas stores and stuff like that.
yep.
Where like if you buy the shoe from Nike directly, then you'll also get the shoe like in the game too, so you can wear them in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Flex. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I mean, bro, it's 2K, bro. It's kind of like what we already used
2K,
to right
yeah.
now. It's like you
Like
got to spend
every
a VC
2K.
to buy the shoes.
Yeah,
But it's crazy. It's crazy because like they're really gonna choke off a market, and then they can buy a store, Foot Locker, presented by Nike, kick Adidas, Puma, all that shit out the store, and just sell their own retail. But it's crazy. I think they're really finally like choking off all the middlemen and just saying you get it direct from the consumer or you get it from my own brick and mortar. But I think Nike is really gonna buy out all these small mom and pop stores soon.
I mean, that's the tech oligarchy gameplay, right? That's the hey, cut out the middleman. Like, look what Priceline, Expedia did. Like the entire industry of travel agents. Like, that used to be like a job that a lot of people did, right? Like, you rarely see a travel agent now.
You don't see a travel agent. If you do, I mean, bro, all they're
it's
doing is
very
Googling.
niche, like what they're doing. Like they're not like
You're just Googling. You just like, come on, bro. It's like my thing is like certain things like that. Like either you just want somebody. Now I get it. Don't get me wrong. We did like not a travel agency, but it was like a travel group for when we went to Thailand. So we kind of let somebody handle all the shit for us. We just pay and we just went. So that was cool. But like a travel agent of just, for instance, you and your wife going to Miami, bro. hit me up, bro. I'll Google some shit for you for free. Oh, y'all vegetarian? Oh, I know a little good spot over here. Hold on, man. I don't understand. And like you said, Priceline pushed them out the
Yeah.
market, and and that's why I go back to the whole coding is a good skill to learn, no matter what. Even if you just just want to learn how to make a hello world, want to learn how to do something, because that's where everything is going now. I mean,
Yeah.
Priceline is our travel agent now.
Yeah, I mean, they do the whole bidding stuff now. They do like the entire packages. They do cruise packages and stuff now, like car rental hotels. Like they do all that stuff. So it's like, why would you pay somebody when they can't get it cheaper for you? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because like that used to be the whole thing. Because like travel agents used to have relationships with the airlines and stuff to get these discounts, and then they would just charge you the regular price, and they'd make that gap up. But
Yeah,
Priceline's like, yo, we're just gonna do volume. That's what every like tech company does, right? Like pretty much, hey, we're just going to sell the most of it with a smaller margin.
with a
Except
smaller
I
margin.
guess,
Yeah.
except I guess Apple, because iPhones don't cost $1,000 to make.
I mean, they just don't care about y'all. I mean, the same thing with Samsung too, as well. Me, they don't cost that much to make, but we pay it every time, which I do need a new phone, so it's time. It's time. But it's crazy. Like they're really gonna cut out the middleman and just like absorb these smaller companies, and then it's just Nike's just gonna rule all. When you want shoes, you gotta go through Nike. I'm really shocked they haven't. Which it could be a possibility. They built their own form of StockX, to where you have to buy the shoes directly from Nike, or here's the marketplace.
So I know a lot of these brands are doing stuff. They're not like not like Nike and stuff, but like H&M. Like apparently they do, like if you bring back their old clothes, they'll give you like a discount on your future purchases. That way they can like recycle them or something.
Oh, I know that.
I think Levi's is also doing like a recycle program as well.
Mhm.
So like I wouldn't be surprised if Nike tries to start doing something like this, where they'll just buy them back from you. Because I mean, like we're all nerds. Like think about the Pokemon card game. Like just think about like when we was kids, you'd be buying packs, opening them. Oh, I'm gonna flip this card for this. I'm gonna flip this for this. Like, and then like maybe you get older, you go to like a game shop where like literally the store that'll sell you the packs will buy back individual cards from you right then and there on the spot. So like I wouldn't be surprised if Nike did their own sneakers app, not sneakers, StockX, except if Nike says it's authentic, it's authentic. It ain't gonna be like StockX, because like they definitely make mistakes on their authentication stuff. Like I'm sure you've seen
I bought
YouTube
some
videos.
shoes. I bought shoes, and they sent me a message saying they were fake and gave me a refund from StockX.
That's good. That's good. It's like
I bought the shoes because I thought it was too good to be true on the price. So it turns out they were.
Yeah, because like I remember seeing a video like somebody bought and like StockX thought they were real. And the guy had like a huge dispute trying to get his money back. Like he's like, no, dude, like these are fake. Like, what are you trying to pull? And like, that's the thing. If Nike's doing it, then why would Nike, like if Nike says it's real, it's real. Like, what do you mean? They're the guys that make the shoes, like who could be a higher authority than them?
Oh yeah, StockX refunded me on that. I definitely appreciate that refund that they gave me after they said the shoes was fake. I was a little upset because I really wanted the shoes, but hey, it is what it is.
The weirdest thing about StockX for me is these kids be walking around with the tag on their shoes.
Oh,
I hate that shit so much. I'm like, bro, why are you flexing that you overpaid for your sneaker?
I'd rather flex I got it for retail than to just resale.
Like y'all not getting me on resale,
It's like anything authenticated, bro. Check it out. Here's my tag. But it's crazy you brought up Pokemon cards. My mom told me a funny story earlier where the USPS is going through a situation now with a guy who sold a Pokemon card for $30,000.
Mm-hmm.
You already know where I'm going with this. The USPS lost it, so they lost the card. And hold on, here's the thing. And I was like, yo, mom, did the guy have like insurance? Like, you might want to get a big insurance claim for that one. She was like, nah, USPS gave him $200. Yo, this man bought the car for $10,000 and was ready to flip it for $30,000. It was ready to flip it for $30,000, and the USPS lost the card, and now the guy who bought the car is wanting his refund from eBay. So it's like a weird fucked up situation.
This is why you use expensive shipping when you're moving expensive goods. You don't just throw it in the regular envelope and just ship it like that.
Dog, for 30,000, bro, you gonna meet me somewhere.
Bro.
You could take 1,000 off of it to give me 29,000. You spend that 1,000 on your flight and all that. Come get this shit, bro. I'm not putting this in the mail.
Legit, I like just like a month ago, I shipped some like cough drops, like Ricolas, to my family in India, just because like Ricolas are like the shit, like they're the best cough drops. And like when I went to the USPS to do it, they're like, "Cool, what's the value of this? How much is this? How much is that?" And like they had me insure some damn cough drops, and this guy didn't insure his $30,000 Pokemon card.
And they gave him $200.
Bro, that's his fault.
I
can't even be mad. I can't even be mad at
him $200.
Bro, that's his fault. Like, what kind of collector takes a risk like that, dog?
Man, $200, bro.
Bro.
All right, so let's before we talk about this slap thing, everybody's talking about the slap situation, right? Yeah, he did get scammed. Before we talk about this slap situation, beforehand, no one's talking about the fact that our president said, "Yo, it's about to be a food shortage."
Bro.
No one's talking about this shit at all, bro. Like,
so you know, like how I'd be like doing like a bunch of like investing and stuff like that. And like I think we did an episode. I brought up like the price of wood went up like 40x or whatever. That's like one of the reasons why housing is so crazy. Like they can't build that many new houses because it's so damn expensive. So this was probably 2 weeks ago. Fertilizer like 3 to 5x.
Fertilizer? Because I know the price of wood went back down.
Yeah. So fertilizer's up because also like Russia's a big supplier of fertilizer. So like if they're not shipping stuff, if they're not, you know, because of that whole situation going on there, like growing our food, right? Like literally, like even like literally everything is based off fertilizer because like if you eat veggies, cool, you need fertilizer. If you eat meat, the animals eat veggies or grains or whatever. So like everything needs fertilizer, everything needs oil to ship it. Like these are like the two building blocks of like our society when you think about it. How do you grow food and how do you ship food? Right?
Yeah.
So like I don't know, like I haven't been buying lettuce in a long time, but like I remember like lettuce used to be like $1 for like a thing of lettuce. And like I saw a picture on Twitter, somebody's like, "Yo, this shit's $4."
For
and,
lettuce?
For like just like one thing of lettuce, like a head of lettuce, I think. And so, and like, you know, because like I'm all up in like option trading and commodity trading and like investor Twitter, and like people are doing like an analysis, and people are like, "Yo, dude, like I won't be surprised if that shit hits like $7." And I'm like, "Bro, what? $7 for lettuce?" Like imagine like what's Subway gonna do with their $5 footlongs, right? Like what?
Not put lettuce, like, bro, $4 for a pack of lettuce, bro. I'm telling you, we just gonna eat bullshit, bro, like we've been doing,
bro. Like,
but
the thing is, the bullshit's gonna get more expensive. Like, all food's gonna get more expensive.
I know, no more dollar menus, no nothing, man. I mean, even though
I went to Taco Bell
like years.
I went to Taco Bell last night, the drive-through, and they were like, "Is this like?" I went to the drive-through, and they're like, "Is this a pickup order?" And then I'm like, "No, just want to make an order." And they're like, "Cool. Well, we got like probably a half an hour wait because we're waiting on product."
Wow.
Like, they're waiting on it. Like Taco Bell ran it, and this wasn't like 11 p.m. This was like 8 p.m. Like this isn't like a crazy late, like, oh, you're end of the day, you just ran out of food. Like this is like 8 p.m. should be like, you should be well stocked for like that dinner rush or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they probably ran out of every damn. Yeah, it's crazy. No one's talking about this.
Bro,
shit.
The food shortages are coming, and like,
yeah.
Luckily, out here in the suburbs, because I noticed like I was in the city not too long ago, and like, you could see in the grocery stores there, they're like not as well stocked as the ones out here in the suburbs, just because there's more people in the city.
I'm a Costco man.
Oh hell yeah! You know,
I go to
Sam's Club.
I go to the suburbs to get my groceries. I know exactly what you're saying. It's gonna look like the pandemic soon here in the city. Back when everything was bare bone,
And then
Even the Great Value toilet paper was gone.
toilet paper, water, guns, those things flew off the shelves.
Ammo's like
Bro,
even
ammo's actually expensive now too. Like I just read up a little bit the other day, and I remember during the pandemic, I was like, damn, this shit's mad expensive. And then I was like, whatever. And like I read up not too long ago, and I was like, it's more expensive now than it was then when everybody was buying guns.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam's Club. There's a bunch of Sam's Clubs. Kennesaw, Marietta, Austin, they're all over the place. There's got to be some in the city. Brookhaven's got a Sam's Club. There's a Costco in Smyrna.
I'm a Costco guy. I get my gas from Costco, bro. Like, gas for me was like at one point last week $5 a gallon. But if I go to Costco, that shit's $4.20. I was just like, yo, no one's doing this shit. But everybody's talking about this whole Will Smith slap situation. No one's talking about this fucking food shortage.
Bro, food shortages are coming. They're real. Luckily, I mean, because not everybody's talking about it, maybe you guys should go, like the listeners, go stock up on some like whatever food you need that'll last long, like some beans or some shit. I don't know, dude. But grab some water, probably.
No lie, man. It's slick making me think about buying some land, getting a house, getting some. I know someone who's doing this. Getting chicken. They have chickens on their land. They have bees on their land. They can produce honey for them.
Hey, bro.
I might need to buy a cow, bro.
West Cobb, all that is legal.
What?
Like on residential zoning, like I could have chickens in my backyard. Like I'm straight.
That might be the move.
So as I'm saying, like West Cobb, like Marietta. So like I don't know if you've been paying attention, but so like Buckhead tried to be its own city.
Oh yeah, and I honestly, I'm for Buckhead being its own city. That means the rest of Atlanta gets all the money.
Yeah. So pretty much so like my part of Marietta is trying to split off to this place and like the proposed name is Lost Mountain, which sounds cool as hell. This sounds like some like anime shit where you go train to them. I'm gonna go train on Lost Mountain real quick and pull up on you, But
I'm about to go get this badge real quick from Lost Mountain.
Right. But so the reason why they're doing it is because they think like the Cobb County the zoning and stuff, like Cobb County is too big now. And they're thinking like I think there's like 4 commissioners or something like that like oversee all of Cobb County, and they're like, bro, like that doesn't make sense. We need to like take care of our own shit. Kind of like people that live in West Cobb need to like make the laws for West Cobb is what they're saying.
Bro, you need to just join the become a councilman of your
West honestly,
Cobb, you might as well.
Honestly, dude, like I've been living here for about a year now. After I get a couple more years here, like I'm gonna do some shit.
You're gonna say, you know what? I've been a part of this community for over 5 years.
I grew up in a small rural area, moved to the big city out west, gave back to our community.
This community reminds me of home. But hey, I don't know if you see Slober's message. So we're gonna help him turn into a slow king right now. Get him to evolve real quick. Pretty much. So we talk about investments all the time, and I'm always about like the way I look at jobs is supposed to be used for paying your bills and investing. So I use the opportunity to invest in other things, whether it be projects, whether it be like real estate. But the first thing that I never invested in initially, the first thing I really got into was like real estate. And that was like buying a condo. That's back when everything was dirt cheap. And then now, I mean, shit, I still stay in the condo. And now it's like,
it's a nice come up when you flip.
Yeah, it's even crazier now with the whole cash out refinance. I was able to take some money out. Even like I can make easily over 150K on just like the flip alone. Like, so I would definitely say real estate is what to jump in first. But I mean, if everybody don't have the funds for it, I would say stock. I mean, stock is a good thing. I could say crypto all day, but I lost a lot of money on crypto, and I made a lot of money on crypto. But it's very volatile. So,
all right. What do you have to say? First, just so we don't get in trouble and the feds don't bullshit with us, we are not financial advisors. This is just what we personally do. Just like you personally did some real estate stuff.
Oh, hey, and sorry. So we do have just audio listeners. So if you would, can you read the question off for like the audio people in the back?
So Sir Slowbro said, honest question. What would you guys say to someone who's never invested before? What should they invest in first? Because I heard you guys say you invest. So this is what I would do. There's relatively safe investing, which I would try to like master first. Like, max out your 401k match if you have that option at your company. Max out an IRA, like a Roth IRA account. I think the limit's like 5 to 6k a year. Max that out because you get tax deferred benefits from that, where you don't have to pay taxes on the gains that you make. So, if you max out, like, I know this is the boring answer, but like if you max out your 401k matching and like you start when you're like 20 and you max out your Roth IRA, by the time you retire, you will be a millionaire by the time you retire.
That is
like,
true.
Unless the American economy completely shits and burns, but you got way bigger problems than worrying about your retirement account if like the economy crashes like that. But you will likely be a millionaire if you do that. Stuff that I personally do, I day trade options, calls, and puts. That's very risky. It's also very high reward. I do not recommend that for beginners. Other stuff that you should consider is just like, what is your risk tolerance? Like, if you don't have like a good risk tolerance, just buy like ETFs. You can buy something like Vanguard. Like, I know my 401k with my company right now, it's all into Vanguard, and you have target date funds. So my target date is 2055, which means I'm projected to retire at 2055. And so what Vanguard does, they run this fund where, because I'm still young, they will do riskier investments for me to try to get the bag up. And as I get older, they'll make it safer and safer investments. So that way I don't lose the bag by the time I get closer to that. And on average, you can expect fairly safe returns on these things, like anywhere from like, I don't know what the rates are going now, but I remember last time I checked, it was something like 7 to 8% year over year returns compounded. So that adds up. But also something to consider is like, if your credit cards are maxed out, don't invest. Pay that shit off first, because that interest is gonna like cost you way more than whatever you're investing here. Because like if you can consistently make 10%, 15%, 25% in the market, you're doing great. But if you got like a 30% credit card bill over here, like all your money's gone anyway. So just pay off your credit cards. If you got a crazy expensive car note, pay that shit off. Get that credit in check. And then, hit me up in the DMs later if you want to talk about stocks, talk about crypto, talk about comic books, Pokemon cards, like all types of alternative investing, like
shoes,
yeah, shoes, clothes, just the other day, like, I mean, I've been getting into watch. Top Shot. Like I've been getting into watches. So like, my girl picked up this watch for me. It's been 3 months and now it's worth like, it's probably up 15-20%. And like, I'm not trying to flip it, but because like my girl got it for me, like, and but like, it's nice to know that there are alternative ways. So like, something that I would say is like, invest in something that's fun for you. That way, if it doesn't explode and like make you a lot of money, you won't be like, well, shit, I got all this bullshit that I don't care about around the house. Like, I like comic books. So like, if I buy a comic book and it doesn't make me a lot of money, it's like, cool. Well, at least I like comic books, so I can like flip through this book later when I want to or whatever, And that's one thing I miss about like CD games. Instead of like, I mean, all the games, like, I personally, like, I'll just be downloading all that shit. But like, it was cool, to like have like a rare game that you could trade with your homies or whatever like that,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like my beginner's intro to investing, just because I know a lot of people don't talk about like if you just like, I guess, Google investing on Twitter or YouTube, they're going to tell you how to do like these complicated things, but a lot of places might not tell you just how to think about investing. But like, yeah, my go-tos would be, if I forget the money limit, but I think it's like around $180,000 a year or something like that. If you make less than that as a married couple, you can do a Roth IRA account. And I think the limit is $5,000 to $6,000. That means you can put $5,000 to $6,000 in that account every year, and you don't got to pay taxes on that $5,000 to $6,000. And then you can use that money to invest in stocks, invest in crypto, and do all types of things. And the thing is, the caveats are you can't touch that money until you retire. But then you can get that money out for certain things, like if you have medical fees, if you're trying to buy a house, there's certain exceptions to that rule where you can take that money out.
And for pandemic reasons too, as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, damn, that was a good answer, dude. Let's just talk about real
Man,
estate. Yeah,
man, you're right, man. I do need to run for office or some shit,
yeah.
teach these kids real quick.
All right, so
Because that's what I realized, bro. Like, because living in Cobb County, like East Cobb, everyone's a millionaire in East Cobb. You don't think about it because they ain't flashy like that. I'm like, bro, all these people are millionaires.
Or even if they don't even know it, that their property is probably skyrocketing.
Properties,
they've been there for so long,
bro. Like, right? So it's like, so what are they doing? So that idea of like the millionaire next door, which I think is a book. Actually, I haven't read it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they talk, from my understanding, they talk about similar things like boring, reliable ways to become a millionaire. Like you might not become a millionaire now, but you will be a millionaire. So like, by the time you retire, you ain't got to stress about nothing, and you can leave your family something other than bills, which is pretty much everybody's goal, I would imagine.
Yeah, I hope so.
Except student loans. Remember, I think we talked about on the phone the other day that like student loans will follow your kids or some shit.
Oh yeah. Ooh, yeah. So I gotta figure out my situation. But yeah, back to the whole food shortage thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all a distraction with this whole Will and Chris Rock slap shit. That no one, like, that's all we're talking about. It's this whole situation, bro. Like
mainstream media, right? Like the whole idea of it just being everybody cares about this, now everybody cares about this, everybody cares about that, but nobody cares about the real shit that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't think it's necessarily as conspiracy theory as much as like Biden's hitting up like the organizers of the Oscars and be like, yo, we need some shit to pop off so we can get the heat off this. I don't think it's like that. It's just, shit lines up where these media companies want to make as much money as possible, and they do that by flooding the market with like a single thing. And then that way the government's like, well, shit, I mean, they worried about that. We can do some slash shit over here, And that's the way I think it operates. I'm sure there's some minimal communication going on everywhere because that's just the nature of, everybody's trying to hit a lick, right?
True.
So what do you think about the whole distraction situation?
Not necessarily distract. Like you said, it's what the media is going to push out. Everybody's going to talk about this. No one's going to talk about the actual food. Our president literally said, "Hey, there will be food shortages." Like no one knows like how big of a deal this is. And then I go to Orange Theory Fitness on Monday, thinking like, "Oh yeah, but I go work out. I haven't worked out in a week." And then it's crazy when you hear like some random white girls just say like, "Oh my god, I was so shocked about Will Smith. He doesn't curse in his rap songs, but he cursed for it."
Have they not seen Bad Boys?
Yo,
every other word.
But she said his rap songs, dog. I was
First off, who listens to Will Smith raps?
Yeah, and it's not summertime. And it's not the summertime.
Welcome to Miami, Get Jiggy with It, and the Fresh Prince theme song, and Wild Wild West.
In summertime.
Summertime and Men in Black. He got 6 songs.
That's it.
He don't got no other songs.
So
sorry, 7. Parents don't understand.
I don't remember that one.
But it's like from the 80s or 90s, early 90s, right? Like it's not. Nobody checking for Will Smith songs. Like, let's be real.
I mean, the whole situation, the way I look at it, it's kind of like, okay, I can see it on both sides how it's kind of fucked up. Yeah. It's kind of like, all right, bro, this guy roasting you right now. You're sitting in the front row of a comedian. He's roasting your wife. Okay, you got a problem with it? Laugh a little bit. Just know I'm going to slap the shit out of you when we get behind closed doors. Or we go in the back, or we go in the studio room. I got your number. I can call you. We can set up a meet, and I can just slap the shit out you then. Now, me doing it while you're this guy's at work, bro. This guy's at work. So it's kind of like, you're writing code in the office, man, who your rival from 10 years ago on Marvel vs. Capcom sees you and just come across the room and just Hayum kick you just out of nowhere. And you just
about to pull up on me and just kick the shit out of
me. Like, ugh. And you just like, you just write code again? Like,
shit, Musa, if you're trying to hop in on here, we can have a little conversation too about his thoughts.
It's crazy, bro. It's kind of like, yo, this guy really just slapped the shit out of me at work. Now, Chris Rock, here's my thing, bro. At what point and how much money do you need for you not to give a fuck anymore? Like, we've seen Chris Rock in TV shows, movies, hell, Madagascar, all that shit. They were in the same movie together.
Yeah, Jada and Chris.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like you go like, how much money do you need to realize you don't give a fuck? Because like if a grown man slaps me in the face, now studies show the nervous system takes 1 complete second to react when you get slapped in the face. It's kind of like it's like a big shock to your nervous system. You're like, what the fuck's going on? But after that 1 second, bro, we gotta scrap. Win or lose, we gotta do something, man. Like, we can shut the whole show down.
Bro,
Like, we can shut the show down, bro.
I've been like, and here's the funny thing. So, like I see both sides of the story. Like, hey, you talk shit, you get hit. That might not have been the appropriate place, but let's be real. When is the appropriate place to hit somebody for dogging your girl like that, right?
Yeah, and I've seen like,
And on the other side, though, like, I bet if it was The Rock telling that joke and not Chris Rock, Will wouldn't have done shit.
Exactly.
If it was like, who's a comedian that's big, like physically big?
Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's swole now.
Oh yeah, new Dave Chappelle. Yeah, he wouldn't have done that to new Dave Chappelle. Because like you also got to think like Will Smith's kind of a big dude. He's like 6 foot something, probably around 200 pounds. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he probably Joe Rogan. He tells comedy. He wouldn't do that shit to Joe Rogan.
Ain't gonna do that shit to him. Nobody gonna do shit to him, bro. He
Meanwhile,
going around saying the N word.
Right?
And nobody stepped to him yet.
They did. He said, "Yeah, ain't nobody do shit then."
Nobody
and then
stepped
he
to him
made a
yet.
ball joke about your girl, like. And like I get it. There's a whole sensitivity thing, especially with hair, and it's very important in the Black community. Like he actually made a whole movie about it called Good Hair, didn't he? Talking about how important this shit is in the Black community. It's like I get it. It has different cultural stuff that I might not relate with, but bro, how you gonna slap like a 5'2" dude?
The guy's small. Because I mean, here's the thing: it's kind of like the bully in the schoolyard. It's like I know I can beat his ass, so I'm gonna keep doing it, and I'm gonna just do it for fun, or I'm gonna do it for giggles, for everybody to think
that
I'm
being
cool.
said, you brought up a good point. Because like I remember, just like even in college, like all my friends with the loudest mouths were like the smallest dudes, because they know ain't nobody gonna hit them because they're small. So maybe Chris just had that shit coming to him. But it was funny because like you see how everyone dapped him up. Like you saw Sam Jackson dapped him up and everything at the end.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Bradley
I mean,
Cooper.
the cameras were on and all that, man. I'm pretty sure white people gonna do that shit too. It's like you were the bigger man, you stepped away.
No, they dapped up Will. They dapped up Will.
Oh, they dapped up Will?
Yeah. So I'm thinking that everyone just got tired of Chris getting these jokes off for these past years.
Somebody wanted to slap the shit out of him.
So I think that might be because, like, you know, they're all trying to be professional. They're just like, oh, I ain't gonna say nothing. But they was all thinking, man, I'm gonna slap the shit out of this dude.
I want to slap the shit out of this little dude. But it is man, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Like, I've seen this happen in real life where you got a guy, he roasting a guy and his girl. It wasn't no talking. It was just.
But the crazy part was that Will was laughing at the joke. Like, you saw that? Yeah. And then after he turned, and then he was like, all right, I got to go do this.
He got validation. She was like, that shit's not fucking funny.
I mean, like, you know what else wasn't funny?
What?
The red table.
And here's another thing, bro.
That might be why he did it, though.
Yeah. So, you know,
because
everyone's going to benefit off this situation. You know, Chris Rock shows have sold out.
Oh, yeah.
Shows have sold out. That what was the name of that show? The Red Table?
The Red Table, that's the Jada's show where
that's just gonna blow up even more.
She exposed everything that they're doing.
Oh, and yeah. Okay.
And that's why I think Will did it. I felt like Will felt sensitive, and rightfully so. And he felt like he had to do something. That being said, it feels like, because like I know, like when I was on Twitter, everyone was saying, "Oh, that's toxic masculinity. That's toxic this and that." I ain't gonna weigh in on that conversation. But what I will weigh in on is Jada helped her son's friend get off drugs and then started smashing him. If that's not toxic.
And it's funny, like
your son's friend.
when those comments that you said is toxic masculinity, what demographic did they come from? Were they like women or men?
It was mostly on the timeline that I was on. It was mostly women.
How do you know what masculinity is? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I
The
think
thing
there's
was
different.
that Jada wanted him to do something because he was laughing. He wasn't doing nothing about it. So he
True.
probably didn't want to do that shit until she said to do some shit.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
like
ugh. I
all
feel
accounts
both
of Will
sides.
is that he's a nice guy. Everyone, like, I've never heard anybody say a bad word about him.
I just feel like it's both
It's both
sides
sides. It's both
because
sides.
it's kind of like women kind of want you to be strong and be a protector, but they don't want you to show your mask. Like, yo, this guy talking shit about my wife, I'm gonna slap the shit out of him. They don't want to see that. But as as two guys, bro, especially like you growing up in McCray, I'm pretty sure you've seen your fair share of fights.
Bro,
It was
this
like, yo,
small town rules are different than
yeah, you gotta stand your ground, bro. Like a guy's talking shit about your wife or yourself, bro. Come on, man. That's disrespect. Now, I would handle it behind the scenes. I'll slap the guy in the back room, the press room. But
Mhm.
as Chris Rock, and that's what I said. Like
Chris Rock
at,
needed to
at
handle
how
himself.
at what point in your life is or how much money do you need to not really give a shit about that job? Because it's a job for him at the end
The
of the day.
reason, so I think it really comes back down to he just cares about that Madagascar money.
You know what? You're right.
Because it's a kids movie, right? And he's like, "Yo, we can't have the zebra beat ups or try to beat up somebody."
The zebra can't fight the lion, man. He
Right?
can't fight the lion.
I think that's what it's coming down to. But like at the end of the day, like you're right. Like how much is his self respect worth to him,
And it wasn't worth that check that they were gave him.
bro? I mean, because it looked like he wanted to crack another joke, but he's like, "Hold on, I'm about to make the bag off this movie. I can't fuck that bag up." And then he's like, he just said, he just transitioned as best he could. But
Yeah, and they talked
there was
about
a
what
moment because like all I know is, bro, like there were so many jokes flying on Twitter, like talking about, oh yeah, he left the Fresh Prince on his face or whatever. Like these jokes would have been flying, bro. If I was Chris, because like he's a professional comedian, like this is what he does. Like you can't tell me he didn't
That
have
was
a
funny.
couple in the chamber ready to go.
Mhm.
Like he was ready.
Yeah, man. But everybody's talking about it. It's crazy. People at Orange Theory Fitness, people at work. My mom talked to me about it, which is even crazy. Yeah, it's the slap that was heard around the world, and the food shortages weren't.
But you know what's crazy? Like it's crazy that like people are not, it's not crazy that people are supporting both sides. I think it's a good thing. It's a healthy
Mhm.
thing to see both sides of an event or a conversation or whatever. But it's crazy how Will got up there, slapped this dude, went to his seat and yelled some obscenities, whatever, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Mhm.
And then apparently it came out that the Oscars tried to remove him, but he refused to move because okay. But like nobody's really
Gave
that
him an
mad.
award, so it was
Yeah,
like,
they
yo,
gave
I
him an
ain't going
award.
nowhere, bro.
Yeah, that's why they had it sitting out front, because like
Yeah.
you never see somebody from the balcony coming down to get an award, like
Oh. Excuse me.
they're always sitting at the edge of the aisle or they got a
Excuse me.
table up front, right? Like ain't nobody in the middle of an aisle win anything ever. But it's crazy though, because like I feel like people don't really care that much. It's like, oh, I can't believe it, that's horrible. Except Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's on some fuck shit, but like, remember when Kanye was like, yo, Beyonce had the best video of all time, and people hated him for years, and people still hate him for that shit.
Mhm.
That shit ain't gonna happen to Will Smith.
Oh no, that's Will Smith, man. It's the Fresh
That's
Prince,
Will
man.
Smith. Bro, that's how you know he's untouchable.
That's the Fresh Prince, man. He already got his name.
That's the Fresh Prince, right?
Fresh Prince, man. Fresh Prince, dog.
Bro. Yeah, Jim Carrey said that Will should be arrested this, and then I'm like, bro, you sexually assaulted a girl on stage.
Allegedly.
No, I mean he kissed that girl without her consent.
Oh, ooh.
Like she was like the girl that like was like, oh yeah, the winner is Jim Carrey. He just walked up there and just and like this girl was 19, he was 35 at the time. Like that's kind of creepy.
Ooh, it was.
I mean, this was the 90s. The 90s was a wild time, but I'm like, bro, this shit would just happen on TV and nobody, like, bro.
Allegedly.
and you're worried about this dude slapping somebody, like people that got some dirt shouldn't open their mouths. I feel like simple rule, you know. You did some
Yeah.
dirt, just shut the fuck up.
Or you could say, I come from a space of doing dirt my damn self. I know bullshit when I see it. No, I mean it to me is like one side could handle shit behind the scenes, other side's like, yo, stand up, bro. It's like
And
at what point it's like, yo, I made it. Man, I made $10 million. I can invest this shit well to where I can retire off this shit. Oh yeah, bro.
bro,
Yeah,
you can
we can fight, bro. We can fight. It's just like we'll cut this shit off, bro. Shut this shit
bro,
down.
even if he didn't fight, he could at least just like, yo, this is bullshit, and just drop the mic and just walk off stage, even, or just do something like,
Yeah.
be like,
Or,
yo,
or, or wait till you sit down and roast his ass harder, boy.
oh, that would have been the best. That would have been the best.
He kept going.
Like, like he
Kept
could have done
going.
something, but like, shout outs to his professionalism, I guess. People
Win
would
or
call
lose,
it.
I'm still gonna talk shit, boy.
It's his job to talk shit. You gonna do it.
Yeah, man. Man. Whew. Man,
It's
but that was crazy. That was crazy. That was a big moment in America. Not the food shortages, but hey, this though.
Bruh, that shit was in the news overseas, dog.
Not
Like,
food shortages, but this though.
This is way bigger news. There's a whole war going on. There's food shortages.
Oh yeah.
Crazy world,
There's
man.
there's sanctions. Yachts getting taken up by the U.S. government and seized.
Yo,
Russia
that
saying
just
they're going to
reminded
play a
me.
war.
You know that guy who's like a Russian dude that owned that soccer team in Europe or whatever, and he had to sell it. You hear about that?
Mm-mm.
So like, they're like cracking down on all the Russian oligarchs or whatever. So there's a Russian billionaire, and he owned like one of the biggest teams in like England or some shit. I don't really know too much about soccer, so I'm not gonna like say what team or whatever because I don't know. But so he had to sell it, right? Because that's just what he had to do. Turns out, dude got poisoned too.
Wait,
Russian
before
oligarch.
or after?
After recently, so like he had to sell the team recently, and apparently he's a part of like trying to help broker peace deals because like he was a part of like Putin's crew or whatever back in the day. That's like the oligarchs like put the guy in power, right? And so like he's been poisoned, and this is like par for the course. Like the Russian in politics, they be poisoning each other and shit. I'm like, bro,
allegedly,
this shit ain't on the news.
Yeah,
it's just wild, bro. Shit, we might turn into the Peachtree conspiracy theory podcast.
I know, man. Peachtree invest, the Peachtree, all type of shit, man. I'm for it though. Peachtree Sports, that's a long time coming right there.
Actually, yeah, we actually need to.
That's a long time coming. Peachtree Kicks. Oh, I might play around these domain names after this episode. Hey man, let's end it on that note, dog.
As always, we appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all talking your shit.
Yes.
Shout out to the Peachtree group. I own that, by the way. Peachtree.group.
Oh, there you go. We are the Peachtree.devs. We own that. But yeah, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Audio, video, analog.
We about to come out with vinyls.
Yeah,
our greatest hits vinyl.
That'd be cool. But appreciate everybody stopping by. Oh, Mr. YouTube Cadence. Be sure and like and subscribe and share our content.
And yeah, click the bell for the notifications.
Oh yeah, excuse me. Get those notification bells up. We're gonna try to keep it on Thursdays at 5:00. But hey, man, life happens, man. We write code. We're engineers, so shit happens. Life happens. So be sure to check us out and at Peachtree Devs. And you got anything else for the people in the back?
No, we're straight, man. Peace, y'all.
Peace.